Both of these teams here on a bit of a loss streak, so they're looking to stop the bleeding with a victory here. Get that gold shined up. Might be a little tarnished at the moment, but they'll be good. 4-11 here, looking to get that 5th win on the board as we start off ban phase 1 for FlyQuest versus Golden Guardians. And there's the Rakan. Last game it was the Xayah. Get him out of there.
Yep, split up the duo. Don't let them go over to red side. You can pick them both at the same time. Olaf as well. They don't want to first pick that, it looks like, and don't want to trade. Yeah, just a lot of power picks coming through so far. So nothing really given away as far as which, what each team wants to do with their overall strategy quite yet. Still have a lot of possibilities. The Golden Guardians have definitely been ones that use hard engage very well. So that would be what I keep my eye on. Galio, that's definitely a good example of one of them. Golden Guardians and FlyQuest were both teams that used the Galio Rakan or Galio Camille combos very effectively.
I was thinking just today when I was doing stats, I was like, wonder what would happen if there were 3 bans again. Be like, how much would actually get through? It's kind of crazy to think about what they still play after the 10 ban itself, but they still find stuff to play and still pretty high up in their champion pools. We see that Galio, Caitlyn, and Kha'Zix getting locked in. So pretty safety in the lane for Deftly and a bit of jungle presence for Contractz.
Yeah, interesting here. It's definitely a little bit risky to play Kha'Zix into Galio because you do have that ultimate counter when people come down at going for one of the people you're trying to assassinate. But one of the tricks that you do learn very early on is just to use your invisibility to get to your target, so you save your jump for if that defensive tool comes in. So you kind of make the first jab as an assassin to pull out the defensive cooldowns. You jump out and then try and re-engage later once the big ultimates have been used. But there we go. Some more big ultimates locked in for FlyQuest. Some more solid team fighting. They pick up the Sejuani. A great front line.
Pretty passive early game for them. Like you said, nice ulties. Can't wait until they come together. Pretty big combo to be had by FlyQuest. And a pretty kind of slippery team here from Golden Guardians, able to get around, do what they want, reposition very quickly.
A lot of DPS for sure, as they've locked in Corki as well for Hai. This has been one of Hai's best champions, throughout his career, as well as scaling very well into Galio, right? You can have a lot of DPS later on. What Golden Guardians now need with the rest of their lineup here is something to split up FlyQuest or give them some sort of crowd control for any sort of rubric really to set up their plays. They don't have anything to set up the plays. Right now they have plenty of damage to finish them. Yeah. Gonna need step 1 first, though.
The patented Jat beach ball on the team now. Just one of those and you're set. Camille, Alistar knocked out on the side of Golden Guardians. FlyQuest won't be seeing any play from those two as they finish off their phase 2 ban. Looking to take out those tanks. Looking to say you need something tanky. So Cho'Gath and Ornn are the ones on the list. Lock it in. You won't.
Ready for some fire?
Yeah. Dude, it'd be interesting to see Zyra. She does so much damage still. It's just so squishy. Braum gets locked in as they do need a bit of that HP and protection.
Yeah, Braum going to be more defensive, counter engaged. So I'm still looking at what is going to be the impetus for Golden Guardians when they're, what's the big play they're going to try and create? What are they actually going to go after? How are they going to create their own advantages and their own win here? Because currently FlyQuest actually locking up a lot of defensive tools themselves. Galio defensive ultimate, Gangplank ultimate for cross-map possibilities, and Taric ultimate as well locked in. So FlyQuest definitely looking with that well-rounded, lots of AoE abilities.
We're like, wait, no.
I mean, we did see it yesterday. First Anivia in a long time. I believe before that, the last Anivia played was actually Hai over a year ago. And it is going to be a little bit of split push, a little bit of everything here from Gnar. Kind of the jack of all trades top laner. You want to pressure early. Let's see if Lourlo can actually get that pressure on Flame. One of the big reasons people stopped playing the Gangplank right after the nerfs was because the early game was even more exploitable, higher mana costs and the rest of the nerfs coming in. Gnar definitely should look to try and get an advantage on this top side. So now we're seeing the game plan start to unfold here for Golden Guardians. They have strong matchup on top side. They have the Kha'Zix for the jungle. And we'll see if they can actually get the, Trinity Force Spire spot down high and Caitlyn with her multipliers. But their early game, they're probably going to be looking to play around the Gangplank, and FlyQuest should account for that.
Yeah.
Try and set up those defenses on top side.
Flames are pretty tanky lately. Some Scions, some Cho'Gaths. Did have some Camille games to week 6, so he's ready to start doing damage once again. I find it so funny about like Gangplanks and stuff. It's like, oh no, he got nerfed, don't play him. Oh wait, they played him yesterday. There was a win there. Oh, they're playing him in some other regions. Yeah, okay, we can play him.
Then if someone else does it, you're like, okay, I'm back in.
FlyQuest versus Golden Guardians. We're about to be on the Rift. These are the teams matching up. As we said, we'll keep that focus towards the top side, see if they can get Flame going, but also eyes on high. Trying to be a carry here for the team at the end of the split so they can make some moves and get a few more wins under their belts. The fans are ready. The Rift is ready. Cleanly pruned mode and ready for combat. We are on that Rift. Let's see the action.
So I just happened to have the chat open when they loaded all into the game, and we have the usual good luck, have fun, you too, good luck. And High goes, you down for the 1v1 later. I'm not exactly sure who he was talking to, but
got a smile from Turtle.
Yeah, Turtle always with the big smile. Maybe it's Turtle, maybe it's Fly, but now I'm curious, and I hope that we get a video of this 1v1. Currently, though, we're just gonna get the dance off.
I approve.
Turtle looking for some charges. Can he klepto? Can he steal some stuff out of Matt's pockets? Got a ward. That is not exactly what I wanted, but I'll take it.
Put it down. We got the blue buff entry. Nice.
Oh, get back in there. Sack of gold? No, okay.
Minions have spawned.
Thank you. Everybody doing their own thing.
Pings go down. They did have vision, so FlyQuest are just kind of guessing here that it is going to be the top side start, so they should react accordingly. And this is a machete Sejuani, so last game we saw the talisman one, and we talked about that for quite a while. This one is the machete. It's much better for single target clear, so things like the blue or red buff or the Scuttle Crab, Scromp, even Wolf Camp is what they often take, but going to be a no-no on that Raptor, and we'll see if Contractz is going to be able to slip in and take advantage, because I believe that Golden Guardians, Contractz did have vision of Onda as well, so they saw his machete start, and we're going to want to keep their eyes open on the top side, as we said before.
And he's still got Smite for the blue. Takes that down nice and fast. Sweet start.
Yeah, I believe
good action.
Probably a big reason for this, actually, is that he wants to protect the Gangplanks. It looks like he's hovering up to that top side. He's probably thinking about getting an early top side scuttle and maybe lending some of his wards up there. High already roaming out to see if there is any sort of Sejuani action on the top side.
Interesting. I think they would have skipped each other anyways, even if he went for Scuttle early. So this works nice that he went for Scuttle late.
So, little tip for all the jungle people watching. As soon as they get vision of him there, Contractz can count up the CS. 4 per camp. He knows, seeing double buffs, that this is probably up, in addition to having seen the machete. So very good reaction here from Contractz. The second they got vision, he moves in to take away the Raptors. And again, there's so much gold and experience in the Raptor camp compared to the other ones. That is a very high value steal. Even if you take the small ones are the ones that have a lot of the experience in them.
So that's what I was going to ask, right? Are you pressured to try and get the big one, or are you okay to peel them back like you did and stay safe for just small ones?
Yeah, you definitely want to get whatever you can, because the small ones have most of the experience, whereas the big gold payout is in the big one. Contractz here.
Interesting. Onda just walked into that jungle, seeing Contractz be very low from Raptors, but he is not low. He is very healthy. Double buffs over to High. Oh, went back over to Contractz, but still a great first blood.
He ended up getting the big one in the end, Riv.
Yeah.
It's the big piggy. And Contractz is going to be very happy about that start. The other thing, though, always remember that there is bonus experience for junglers on killing big monsters if you have a jungle item, which all junglers should have by starting.
He got so much health off of doing Scuttle just from spikes.
But yeah, hey, Anda knows he's got these snowflakes on top of his head here. He's got the, the fairy dust from the Scryer's Bloom, but he doesn't care. And Contractz makes it pay for it. You can see the flashes there. Both High and Contractz want to get in front of Sejuani for the possible Arctic Assault escape. And that's kind of what we're talking about. The very quick decision-making and the quick moves from teams that do have High on them. And that's what people expected when they first saw the lineup. They're like, oh, Contractz, you know, this young offensive jungler is looking for invades all the time. Those are the types of plays that people kind of imagined when they saw this team. And that is going to be a very good start for Golden Guardians. Getting some early money onto a Kha'Zix means that Sejuani is going to have to be a lot more scared. And right now he's actually fighting him by the Raptors as well.
Looks like a little help from Galio. So I want my double buffs back, or at least some Raptors.
Yeah, so Galio has pushed up the mid lane. That's why they're invading here. 2v1 before High can move over after clearing up the minions.
Oh, they got Lourlo as well, though. Can he hop forward for a boomerang toss? Looks like he's already used it to get down the river. And they're just going to walk out of this one. Lourlo had to push on his lane, so could roam down to help the team.
Yeah, and now Contractz can go for a counter invade, possibly. Doesn't have any wards to drop off, but if you just walk around and you get some vision, then you can keep Anda from CSing here. He's got the level 8. He has the double buffs on him. Just controlling the rest of the enemy jungle. But again, the mid lane push, if High is recalling, Contractz cannot continue an invade. This is a team game, and jungle is a very team-centric role.
Teleport to mid. They know they have that top side vision, but he says, actually, let me get Raptors off the map so it can respawn, because he knows Anda's going to be trying to hard farm it out with this being down. Good pressure back to mid. Teleport down, though. Teleports up for the top laners, and we haven't seen too much action on the bot side. It is a Caitlyn Ezreal, so they're keeping distance. Can't do too much there.
The thief! What did he steal this time? Got a mana potion and a... That's about it.
The Materializer still on Matt. A little bit of late game play there if we see some banners coming in. An easy build onto Taric or Sejuani if they need to. Contractz back on the Raptors, has a bit of that timing now. His first presence there gives him a bit of a route here for Anda, so he gets to be under his skin basically the whole time. Red's coming up and they have good vision on the entire area.
Yeah, you can see whenever you have the Raptor timing as well, they'll put a lot of focus on that, controlling it. And Contractz keeps his level lead. He's also working pretty heavily around that mid lane still. High has gone for the Ko with the Corki, which we often see into Galio as he's able to get off plenty of autos, fully farm. And it is more about the Corki trying to rush the Train Force and scale up for later, whereas Galio wants to make plays around the map. Galio Ultimate is now available for FlyQuest, so there's a possibility of a sign lane play if you see him roaming off, or maybe even just going to ult on Anda or something like that. Golden Guardians need to account for these global ultimates that are becoming available.
Watch out for a little extra damage as they have Lourlo going Mega on the top side. It's been even there. He won't have a chance to stop any ultimates coming out until he gets that bar filled back up. Seems like a breather moment, though, with Blues coming up to be transferred over to their mid laners. Junglers heading back on the top side. Pretty calm game to start things off, though. Little entrance into the jungle as Anda thought he had kind of the upper hand on Contractz, and he's second-guessed it. Oh, nice dodge. Oh. Very nice side step.
Into the trap.
Deliver the damage. Are they focusing it right, though? He leaves WildTurtle up front. Has the Arcane Shift to get back to safety. Nicely done. Blue trade for Fly over. As Turtle says, I got to stay here alone. I want to keep this off my turret.
Yeah, some good moves from the bottom lane there. Golden Guardians showing the combo. You get your Braum stun passive off, and then instant trap from Deftly to try and lock him up. And they do force the flash plus heal for just the ignite.
Got him. Take it down. No! Oh, I was going to be so happy that they checked that now.
I like how Golden Guardians also want to work off this pressure. They forced a recall of the support, so they're calling Contractz down. Looking at Turtle.
You mismatch your support and your AD carry. It leaves him out to dry. Ooh. There's the ace in the hole. Definitely picks up kill number 2 for Golden Guardians.
Again, such a proactive team. No hesitation. The support wins a big trade here. They force Stunt back to base, and immediately Contractz is down there. He hands off the blue buff, gets the first blood for, or actually second kill for the team, but first tower is under attack.
Pretty interesting still, too. They knew Anda was kind of down on the bot side of the map, so Golden Guardians working with very small windows. High, good damage onto Fly as he takes kind of some melee damage and hangs out in the Winds of War a little too long. They end up being quite even on that trade. Bit of a rotation up here from Stunt as they try to get something back possible.
Yeah, interesting too. Flame did use the Gangplank ultimate to stop the first turret going down. The first turret is still in a very precarious situation though. Super low versus a Caitlyn lane. So Golden Guardians could focus back on that objective. And they did have that pink ward, but Turtle just sticks around, gets hit with the Q, thought his flash was going to be enough in addition to his arcane shift. Not the case there, as Deftly able to hit him with the ace in the hole.
A lot of little catch potential with the Rockets and the hits from Caitlyn coming in on this team. So you got to be careful. You can't stay around with low health too long or in that long lane. Vision being placed now as Contractz tries to gain more of the jungle. He's had a pretty good read on Anda the whole time. Again, a few steps ahead from there towards the bot side of the map. They'll be able to control Mountain Drake from being anything FlyQuest can use to get back in so far.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because let's take a look at mid lane.
Justice punch. Looks like he kind of pulls that punch a little bit. Oh, the counter gang. Oh, Anda feels good about that one.
Yeah, that's what we kind of talked about last game, where we were cautioning against, Sejuani counter ganks, even though that is the tank. Slapping him with the CC, Kha'Zix feels bad, gets blown up, and Contract's going to go down. So a little bit of good money back there to FlyQuest. I was going to touch on, though, again, just so people are not confused, the pink wards do not reveal invisibility anymore. But if you can see the Kha'Zix before he gets into the bush, that should alert them. This time around, they were alerted, and they were able to jump on him.
Turret finally goes down. They recoup a little bit. Good first blood gold going around the map here for Golden Guardians. Not too much pressure lost in that mid lane as they've been trying to stay proactive, but FlyQuest knows they can start to bite back a little bit here if Anda can track Contractz where he's going around the jungle. Cinderhawk Warrior, I'm sorry, Skirmisher Warrior and Skirmisher Cinderhawk.
Skirmishers all around. Everybody loves red smites. Those are the best for hand-to-hand combat.
Bam, AD carry. Bam, Corki. That's great with Corki too. Just get up in his face.
Yeah, I mean, you can see in the trades already, even with just the Galio, right? Where he's staying on the edge there. He just barely outranges the Justice Punch, but Fly turns around anyways, and as soon as you get that one combo onto him, deal a decent amount. Anda is going to start up this Mountain Drake because they get the recall out of that mid lane, and jungle was top, but a little bit of vision here from Matt does make them hesitate. They don't have confirmation on Contract's location. I believe that is going to dissuade them, as the teleport was used mid from high, so he is back out on the field. And Matt, with his vision, is able to secure that objective. Now it's actually the reverse situation where the bottom lane of FlyQuest has recalled, and the Golden Guardians are the ones with the pressure around the dragon, and they might just be able to take that one right back. Mountain Drake going down.
Yeah, it looks like Anda stays. He says, may need to get involved in something. Also doesn't want to lose too many minions to his turret. Great job by Golden Guardians.
Oh, a little bit of a half reset.
Left and right. Whoa, over, back.
Wait a second.
Slides out with the dazzle on to get a kind of a fadeaway smite, but it wasn't low enough.
Meanwhile, Turtle trying to push up on the bottom side. He is Ezreal, a little bit safer. But again, you need that advanced warning of the Kha'Zix before he gets into the brush, because now he's got mobility boots, and you can go from brush to brush very easily with the early mobility boots rush.
Well, they also don't have any vision on him in the jungle. A few words for Golden Guardians behind Dragon. Gives them a bit of knowledge, but now they can set up. Can possibly get Contractz into those Fog of War plays. See how good FlyQuest is at stopping that and lighten up the map. Blue buff to go over to Fly as he gets back into lane. It actually looks like he might be hovering bottom here to stop Corki, so we're going to start trading off lanes.
All right, good rotation here from Golden Guardians. They're going to move their duo up to the mid lane to keep up this pressure. Caitlyn Doesn't have, uh-oh, Matt actually getting stunned.
Bam!
Should be fine, even though Contractz as well, taking a Mystic shot. And FlyQuest are answering, switching their duo over here to mid lane, because they don't want to give up any more tower pressure. And Fly's teleport will come up before High's.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Yes, sir. Lourlo able to get some damage, but again, Gangplank's goal is just to CS, and Flame is farming up. You know, he has the Klepto, he's cashing in, and he's staying very competitive as far as the farm does go versus Lourlo's Gnar, even after the nerf. So I have to say, quite well played from him, especially considering he did use a defensive Gangplank ultimate on bottom side and wasn't able to use that for himself up top. Though he did get some minions from the bottom wave as well, so kind of
feels good.
Win some, give up a little bit of defense, but you also cash in on some extra ones.
He knows what he's doing. He also got oranges too, so everything's going to be okay. Doesn't matter. You should just know that in the end. That Triforce is there for High, 14.5 minutes in. Let's see if they start pushing this pressure anywhere else on the map. He's been down in the bot lane with that for a little bit, but hasn't gotten tags onto Fly just yet. Teleports are up both on that side, and Unsealed Spellbook was changed. Matt has teleport now for himself. You might get a play back out of him if you think he's heading back to base to heal, or he might just be heading back to base.
He's gonna get the stun,
From
but
Frost, no follow-up.
they don't have Galio in range for an ult, but again, he does have teleport ready. There's the ward that would be a possible teleport entry. Not gonna take it though.
It's like a lot of ideas being set up, but everybody then avoids them. They're seeing them happen. The strategies are just going to the wayside.
Oh yeah.
Wait for the first big fight to come up here.
It's getting rough because High's got his Trinity Force. Oh!
When no fights happen, usually it does happen over vision. Just that one ward becomes the death. Stunt gets himself to safety. That's a flash though. A little progress for the side of Golden Guardians. Looking for that kill. Or their next, I should say.
Golden Guardians kind of running a thin line here. They have to keep up the pressure. High's got Trinity Force. Contractz has mid.
Cosmic Radiance goes down. This actually is beautiful if they can defend this, and High can continue to push the bot side. Contractz doesn't go down, so they can continue to add that pressure, and High gets the turret.
Yep, Corki taking his toll. High's feeling pretty strong now, scaling up quite nicely. Has some spell pen as well, so the rocket harassment finds effect even on this Galio that's stacking magic resist. Rushing a lot of magic resist there.
Tearing them apart.
Still feeling the burn of that harassment, and a secondary turret going down. It's very big for Golden Guardians, keeping up the pressure. This team runs on pressure. They've got a Caitlyn siege in mid, split pushes with the Gnar and the Trinity Force Corki now. Trying to keep it up.
The moment you relieve it, that's the second Fly says, I can ult mid, I can make an entrance and just get the fight.
Yeah, they've got a Sejuani ult to start it off, and then Gangplank and Galio to follow up. Taric ultimate would come down. Like, there are so many things. Yeah. Like we're going over in Champ Select, where the big AoEs are definitely going to be in the favor of FlyQuest.
Even in that moment of breathing room, seeing just Deftly and Matt mid, they try for a slight engage. Just Fly moved forward for a taunt, and now they use this time to get more vision forward. Rift Herald not really on the board as they don't have Matt pressure. And Contractz probably zeroing somebody out at this point with High's damage. They can be in and out, but he might find the same. Just dodges out on Glacial Prison. Woo! That was close.
Here. Yep, gotta be fast on the feet if you're gonna dodge that one. And gonna have to wait on the cooldown now for that Sejuani ultimate. So we may have a delay in FlyQuest pulling the big play that they want to go for. Whereas Golden Guardians are so happy. That's basically the biggest cooldown.
It's a long cooldown to start.
Because that's, well, I mean, the biggest importance, because that is their offensive one, right?
Yeah.
The Galio one is a little bit more defensive. They don't have a great delivery system there. So
Taric Flash Dazzle?
Yeah, there you go. That's an option. They could have Taric Arcane Shift Flash Dazzle WildTurtle. Get him in there for the stun.
I'm sure Turtle's on board with that.
Hell yeah.
He'll be right into the fight. Low kills, a lot of action this game. Everybody's been able to just squeak out of these situations or have the vision necessary to avoid it altogether. Right before it starts, here back and forth, nothing really happening because they know there's no follow-up engage. Lourlo to the bot side as he Gnar is out. He's meeting up with Flame. They're 184 to 188, so not too bad. And FlyQuest do feel like they're good to go on starting this Rift Herald, or maybe to see kind of where Golden Guardians is.
Oh, we got to collapse.
I'm just still waiting on that that ultimate. It's going to be a wild. Dazzlon to Matt. Breaks it, dodges back for himself. Actually has to cleanse on the unsealed spellbook. Quite savvy there.
Disengaged during the Taric ultimate. Golden Guardians are back.
Rift Herald doesn't know what to do. Fly wants in, he tries to get from a denied vision spot, but they put a ward down on him. That's gonna be Contractz Rift Herald. They'll be able to get it on the top side for the next 45 seconds on the side of the fight. Dazzle goes down, Cosmic Radiance has been used, a wallop into the hit, and Contractz comes up with an extended fight kill for Golden Guardians.
So well played from the Golden Guardians there, just on the outside of threat range. They do not overcommit to the Galio ult. They stole the Rift Herald. Now she is used on mid lane here, but do they have the extra pressure to finish it?
Huzzah! Crack the eye right in the middle. Easy. Not going to take it down. You are correct. A little lack of damage. And they should be able to shut down Shelly as they go now for the Ocean Drake. Another fight they're ready to take.
He's got teleport. He's up on top side, finishing the turret.
Ignite. He's not teleporting in. No unsealed spellbook for him. Contractz can dip out the backside of the pit. Deftly's got to be careful on the slow. Matt puts himself in. Ultimate 1. Ultimate 2. Oh, dipping, dodging.
Contractz with the fancy feet, but now there's a Taric coming from the other side.
He gave himself up for one moment. It's going to be a lot of damage. Oh my God, High goes in. It's a 3v1 in the back, and he could go down. How did he get out alive? Contractz does go down. But, whoa, that was a very, very dangerous play. Turtle now over the wall. He says, I can do anything, you can do better. And I'll flash forward. Turtle looking to do it one more time. A last arcane shift Q behind the turret. But he does not. He holds it. And they go for the clear.
What an exciting game here as Turtle with the flash in, trying to finish off the kill onto High, then almost gets Deftly, but his flash is up. This is what we mean by staying just outside of the threat range.
Right.
You can see the play where they tried to set up Gangplank ult plus a possible flash taunt from Fly, but Golden Guardians disengaged twice there, off of the Gangplank ultimate, and then off of the Galio ultimate too, and then finally re-engage to get their kill onto Taric. Here's another look at the jukes where
this was crazy.
Bit of a two-part story here. High wants to use the package onto Flame. They get him to the side. He flashes though, and he also gets the heal. Then WildTurtle finishes the chase. Here we go.
Well, bam! Here comes Fly. He gets in with Galio. Not looking good for Contractz. So the rest of Golden Guardians, they bit off way more than they could chew on the home turf of FlyQuest, and they get pushed back to the other side of the map.
Yeah, a bit too risky there as FlyQuest are able to collapse. They get a kill back for themselves, and now they have some map pressure of their own, looking to finish off one more auto on that turret.
Got it. That was a close one. Not too shabby all around. It'd be hard kind of not to have full kill participation at 3-3. Everybody's got a bit of something here. Full for Contractz, and full for Onda as well on that side, so the junglers really doing their part this game. Probably having quite a bit of fun. Onda's had some great counter engages, Contractz trying to start things off early on that Kha'Zix. And we can see now how the damage for the entirety of the game is kind of sorting out.
Completely agree, Riv. Junglers, best players, most intelligent players, most mechanically
I'm glad that's
gifted.
what you got, because I was really emphasizing that point out of everything.
But yeah, that is a nice look at the damage. And you can see how much the double AD carries are doing for Golden Guardians in this, but you can still feel how tenuous this game is, even with the gold lead. If you make one overextension as the squishier team that is the Golden Guardians, the CC comes in, you know, the collapse from FlyQuest, they have so many of these area of effect answers that it is a little bit scary.
Becomes that ward war you fight over. We haven't seen Golden Guardians when they are having that lead to kind of show us they have an initiation next. They have something else on the plate. Damage coming through for Flame. Lourlo not liking this at all. Has to flash out, and that's exactly how you start to lose ground in a game. These one-on-ones turn into 2v1s, and then you start to lose players you need on the map for that split push. Lourlo goes down here eventually. WildTurtle says, you're not going to get away. Tries to play the mind games.
Yeah, and Golden Guardians can't get much out of it. High's trying to burn down this turret, though. Trinity Force actually doing quite a lot of work. Fly's on the way.
A few more. Then you got to go over the wall. But they don't have vision in the jungle. Ooh, good pressure. It's going to be a long walk here. They may meet Contractz, slows him down with the Void Spikes, but this is the extended fight. High may be able to go from bush to bush and buy enough time. They have a slow run by Deftly. That's the HP going down much faster than the cavalry is arriving, and Contractz needs to turn away.
Yeah, now
Ooh,
they've got
Turtle over the wall. Do it!
Into a Kha'Zix? Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, Turtle's not going to jump head first into a Kha'Zix. Right?
Right. Question mark. Still Blast Cone to be used. Contractz is there. No 50-50 is going to be divvied up on this one. As Flame just by himself on that bot lane, doing what he needs to do as his Gangplank, keeping that lane pushed, and about to grab another turret for the team. A lot of structures still stand here, 25 minutes in, so once this gold starts getting in the pockets, you're going to see a lot of explosive items.
This whole Gnar into Gangplank thing not working out for the Golden Guardians.
Not so
Flame,
much.
He cashed in, he's rich now, and the tables have turned. Trinity Force completed. He's almost finished his Taric as well. I believe next back finishes Taric, so.
Most likely.
Lourlo having some trouble already.
Two of the outer lanes being pushed as well. That'll spread you very thin. True shot barrage to mid, almost hitting top lane. As top will stay for now. Those teleports coming back up for Fly as well, so if he wants to clean up and prune top lane once more for that turret, he can still teleport or ult into the fight. That's so good about having Galio as well. His team can use that global positioning very well. It just kind of picks you apart.
And he's going pretty defensive here. Look, we have the beginnings of either a Banner of Command or even...
Who's going to build it?
He possibly could do the Locket. One of them could do Locket, one could do Banner, but they could just go double Banner if you know, what we've seen could hold true. Here we go, though. A little bit of a collapse from Golden Guardians now in the middle. We do still have the golden package on the Golden Guardian mid laner. Nope, and it has been delivered.
He laid his golden egg.
Laid it all over the rift.
Watch out. Does damage.
And I stepped in as well. That's a little goopy.
Nope, he's in
Gets
the
the
river.
burn off of it.
Clean shoes. He's healthy. Warmogs will get him back up. You can see actually the burn ticked down as he was taking a few minions and waiting for that HP to come back. Nice to have the Warmogs. They can kind of extend these fights, get on to back into it, if they can get the positioning correct. And so far, with each lane being pushed up, they get to go ahead and take themselves a Cloud Drake. Nice and easy.
This ult is for something. All right, high.
Visiones.
Trading a little bit.
Boom! Justice Punch onto Contractz. I don't know if they really wanted to do that. He said, Stunt, that was for you to get out alive! I was taking the bullet. Glacial Fisher back as well, onto just on the edge. Does he want to ult? Oh, he wanted it, but he didn't want to ult Matt. Somebody else gets the Glacial Prison, and High just Valkyrie's out of the way. He was looking for it, and High knew it.
Fancy moves. FlyQuest now with 4 people on the top side, though, have the manpower to bully the turret down. Lourlo has teleport available, but he's pushing on bottom side. And Golden Guardians might have to react to some sort of bear pressure here. Looks like they're just clearing out vision, though.
Turtle's coming out slow. True Shot Barrage in just a few moments. You can see him Arcane shifting forward on the minimap to get there ASAP.
Yeah, honestly now FlyQuest are the ones that are feeling the pressure because they're down the top laner teleport at this point, and Lourlo's moved the minion wave up. It's a good thing for FlyQuest, though. Their side laner, Flame, has been winning the 1 versus 1, and now in addition to finishing the Taric, it's almost up to a full lethality item as well, whether it be Ghostblade or even Duskblade.
Just got to do damage.
Yeah. Hit him with the truth.
Stunt has to be on point with saving that target, too. Cosmic Radiance is not an instant cast, so he's got to keep an eye on Contractz. Make sure he can get that primed in time. 28 minutes on the clock as we are continuing to jockey around this Baron. Contractz low, but still good enough for a fight if he's not the focus. High is starting to roam down, but he's in a lot of vision. That's kind of scary positioning.
Yeah, I mean, this is a scary game for this team. If you look at the team compositions, yes, the crits are coming through now for Golden Guardians. Like, they have the damage output. However, their main source of control in a team fight is Lourlo's Mega Gnar. You know, Mega Gnar is hard to control. The enemy team gets to see the Gnar bar as well and can try and work around that timing. So Golden Guardians have to be very good and careful with their movements, because FlyQuest just have so many more options as far as setting up or even defending those team fights. with the multiple ultimates.
FlyQuest also showing Banner of Command, so Baron definitely on their plate, with the Zeke's Convergence actually being built out by Stunt, as we're seeing a little bit more often here.
Oh, they're going for a 2-man on bottom. Teleport match, though. And canceled from high, so they'll complete the FlyQuest one. Interesting little roulette of teleports. Now the extra pressure on top side for Golden Guardians. They still have the extra teleport here when Lourlo has hold on to his. I might just sneak for the turret, though.
Squeezes himself in. They say, hey, we see High at the backside. We can obviously pressure this turret.
Going
No minions, though.
turret.
Yeah, High's going to keep going. Without the minions, it's going to take him much longer. It'll take a little bit of poke on the way out. Nothing dangerous. And it looks like High is going to put enough damage down where a Baron attempt or take by Golden Guardians would be a huge takedown after this. The inhibitor is going to be open, and what a defensive yo-yo here from Golden Guardians. That's going to be a tanky Lourlo. If he can get a flash out, he might be going down. Gets one hop, and then they get hit back. Wins of war, almost hitting him, but the True Shot Barrage goes down. He's still taking down the inhibitor, and Contractz is just behind him for defense on the way out as well. High is going to be able to back. What a ring around the rosy with FlyQuest on the other side of the map.
Hiding in plain sight there. High does not run, and he just recalls right in the fog of war just outside the base, so Flame doesn't find him. Contractz as well,
Throws
hiding
down the
here
ult.
in a brush.
Waiting, he wants to get a little bit of vision in there. They attack the ward, they gave him vision. He can see how much health Baron has. That's oh my word, Matt goes down immediately, can't get himself any safety in that, and High gets pushed out. FlyQuest put themselves right in position, knowing Golden Guardians stayed out on the map too long. They could cut off High, they could cut off Contractz, and FlyQuest walk away with Baron, but an inhib down.
That was close. I don't know if they had vision on Contractz. They're gonna get a little bit now as he runs past the turret. But in the end, FlyQuest get the Baron. There was a lot of tricky maneuvering there from Golden Guardians. But in the end, even though they get an inhibitor down, Baron buff might enable FlyQuest to take back more than that. They've got the Banner of Command. It is buffing up topside, so looks like they're going to push right into the siege or super minion wave and negate kind of the little advantage that High had gotten.
Randuin's for Onda now as well. Pretty big, helps him out. Triforce for Flame, so he's going to be doing quite a bit more damage. And he's kind of been off on the side of these fights, teleporting in for a bit, but it seems like the fight is already over there. Not that he's late, but I feel like he's going to be widening some eyes here if he can hit a good set of barrels and Golden Guardians in the right spot. Another banner seems to be coming up in the hands of Stunt here, but also Matt, after his Knight's Vow, seems to be grabbing one for the team.
All right. Don't see any minion dematerializers, so they're going to have to kill that cannon minion the old-fashioned way. Caitlyn traps are up, but FlyQuest have no problem walking right over them.
Oh, I'm so sorry. They gypped you out of the fourth shot.
Oh, High is recalled. They might actually go for this on the wave. Pretty buffed up wave right here.
Ready with that cannon barrage if they need to push him off the turret. Contractz just on the side, clears a ward, so his entry is unknown. That's going to be very difficult, though. 4 strong for FlyQuest with that meat shield. And flies Galio on the front line, locked down. One more hit on Winter's Bite. They can add a few bits of damage, but I feel like Golden Guardians has taken just as much damage onto their turret.
Yeah, they're trying to draw the minion aggro there from the cannon away from the turret, though, onto a champion. They are able to get it off and onto a tank, so the turret's still healthy. Golden Guardians have hold strong on top side, but again, Flame is pushing bottom with the Baron buff on Gangplank as well, and he's going to claim turrets.
It felt good. You think for a second, we're defending this. And oh yeah, Flames on the bot side, completely uncontested as they drop more turrets. FlyQuest was just on the other side of the map, but they were kind of making that play that spread them out too thin as we were talking about playing against these globals. High was out a bit too long. Even with the inhibitor, FlyQuest can go up that inhibitor down lane and stop
the line. Will they cross the line? Flies right in.
Who wants the cupcakes? That's the question. Fly gets himself in. Big damage onto Matt as he throws the Glacial Fissure back. Cosmic Radiance keeps everybody nice and protected. And we do see all 5 members in this fight. Flame looking to set up the barrels, throw him forward. Good damage onto High to slow him down as he gets himself to safety. Ooh.
so rough to chase into the Gangplank here as the barrel explosion gonna put a stop to that very quickly.
Quicksilver stashes abound here and high in Deftly's inventories to keep safe. Gargoyle Stoneplate, that banner is now finished. Gargoyle Stoneplate was for Fly. That banner is now finished for Fly Stunt. So everything there just kind of getting in full. It's like they're getting loans. They just go out and they get a huge chunk of money and come back.
What's the credit now?
Jeez, I don't know, it's a lot.
FlyQuest has definitely a lot of credit. Extra gold in their pockets. Baron buff has timed out, but they're going to be able to claim this dragon and even it up 2 versus 2. 2-4-2.
That piece of black. There is no limit. Just wave it around and they're like, okay. For 4,000 gold power play. Nicely done by FlyQuest. Changing things around in this, but it's kind of what we've seen happen to Golden Guardians throughout the season. Kind of a up in powerful early game from themselves. They find an advantage. They don't really have a way to work that advantage, and then the other team finds that quick play that turns the game on its head. That's where FlyQuest is now.
It's on the run.
Kind of shaking the lunch money out of High's pockets at this point. Oh, they give him the everything. A little unnecessary, but they know they need to take him down. 60 seconds on these death timers now, and they're going to be looking to make moves on the map. Whoosh. Wow. Whole bunch of damage coming in. That was actually a heal from Deftly, and the spike heal from Contractz himself to keep alive.
Oh my goodness, playing that one close, buddy. Contractz gets the last hit there to finish up the kill on the
Some
flame,
would say
though.
not even close.
Not even close, maybe.
Let's see these again. Boom!
Jumps right over to where the ward used to be, flashes over the wall, invisible, and there's no reaction. Boom.
Whew. How do you almost not die to trial by fire during that, too? That's crazy. Must have just worn off.
Calculated.
Lucky. Yeah, you're right. Calculated. Absolutely.
Quick maths. Jump to the side. Gangplank ultimate's going to get off about 2 waves of cannons on me.
Alt again.
Burning.
All right, back to some jungle clears. A little bit of a breather here. Things got pretty hectic there for a moment at the top side of the map. Chased all the way down. So the inhibitor's up on both sides. We're kind of neared on either side of the map right now with one turret looking to be dropped in the mid lane for Golden Guardians. However, that is going to be quite dangerous. A lot of initiation power now ready to be used by FlyQuest, and they are not scared to use it.
Yeah, I would say at this point it is easier for FlyQuest to win the team fight, but it is definitely possible with the damage output from Golden Guardians for them to outplay and come up with a team fight victory. You know, whether it's Caitlyn traps causing a problem, you know, some good disengages or whatever, there are options, and they definitely have the damage to punish if there's some mistakes from FlyQuest. Matt, though, taking a decent amount here.
For a second, I thought that was a mini glacial prison. I was like, let it go.
Little baby prison.
So what is your ideal fight here for Golden Guardians to find? Do you WildTurtle onto Flame onto X? How does it kind of go for you?
I mean, honestly, the ideal fight is something that's chaotic and strung out, where FlyQuest don't get to have synergy with their giant AoE abilities. You know, you don't want them grouped up and funneled in and fighting front to back. Either that or, you know, someone carelessly stepping on traps and get some big crits here from Caitlyn.
Well, bam.
It's almost full item Caitlyn and full item Corki. You know, those guys are very close to topping out. And High right now is working on the bottom lane inhibitor turret. So he's drawn Flame away from the rest of the team and turning it here into the 4-on-4 mid as Contractz rotates down.
806 crits. 1,600 crits. Lots of damage to be had here.
Yeah.
Teleports up. Fight's ready to be had. Quick nuzzle on the bottom to Matt as Anda says, I'm here too. They make their way out to safety.
Matt is definitely a key point here because the Braum is one of the big disengages that Golden Guardians do have.
Yep.
Again, we're still always looking at this Gnar bar for Lourlo because Mega Gnar is going to be the very big, impactful ability. But if it's not that, then it has to be Matt creating some space for the team. Flame now clearing up the minions on bottom, and he's a little bit wary of High, honestly, at this point, with the burst damage that is possible.
You hit a rocket in that rapid fire range, just whoop, there's 25% of my HP. Not a whole lot of defense on that side of Flame besides what he has in Taric. Honda, not actually a hit there. Would have just been Matt on the outside, and like you said, that's the disengage. He still has cleanse as well to be that guy in the front. He wants to eat Glacial Prison. He's happy to be there. See them keep moving up. It was not a banner for Matt. He went into the locket for more team fighting on the team. So 2 banners against the side of Golden Guardians now, as they're going to have to figure out how to work those waves. FlyQuest, however, right in front, so it's everything they see. Turtle
crit.
Down to 10%. Shouldn't say 20, as you can see at 200 HP. And now it looks like he's going to be able to get out alive. That's the position. That's what Golden Guardians needed, though. Can they work this accordingly?
Big damage from those Golden Guardian carries. It's definitely possible. Now they're moving into cloud vision. High is going bottom. They're trying to create the cross-mat pressure here. If I can push that wave up to the turret once again and draw Flame over, that would mean they would remove the
Oh no, they're splitting. Okay, they're okay.
Oh. Feeling it, Riv?
I'm feeling it.
The Baron draw. Anytime you do have high split pushing, you get kind of flashbacks. There we go, though. Golden Guardians, they actually going to pop the Mega Gnar here and have to warn her about the exhausted timing afterwards. Once this time's out, FlyQuest know they have a bit of priority because Gnar will not be able to recharge in time here for this Baron fight, so they're starting it up very quickly.
That was big too. FlyQuest knows and denied and plays vision behind that. So if it is a teleport in, Flame could have the exit if they do get Baron. Contractz waiting to get over from the right side. Matt deterring Fly. Lourlo says, come and fight me. He doesn't have the Gnar bar. They're actually taking the fight. Fly is going to get there first as well. Cosmic Radiance wears off and they obliterate Stunt. Getting the flashes over the wall. Contractz then goes in, looks for Turtle, finding the squishy targets. Flame is now to the backside, and he starts to make the fight his own. Fly takes down Contractz, and they have completely routed the fight to find their targets, turning it on the heads of Golden Guardians.
FlyQuest, they force the timer during mini Gnar, then they immediately turn off Baron, hard engage, and they find their team fight victory. This is going to let them inside the base.
Crazy teleports and turnarounds there at the last moment. Deftly gets caught on his way in, slowed down and taken down. Keep himself alive for a good amount of time though, and Golden Guardians has to watch.
Watch as the destruction ensues. Inhibitor turret gonna go down, inhibitor soon to follow, and 20 seconds left on some damage here to come up. Matt is available, but that's a little defense.
What a crazy game of yo-yoing defense back and forth, figuring out when to go, when to stop. And FlyQuest read it like a book. Had a little bit of trouble in the early game with Golden Guardian start, but now they have themselves on the Nexus looking for that victory, trying to push themselves forward. One last fight as Golden Guardians will not go without putting that up, and the Nexus going down. Turtle making sure that happens. FlyQuest takes down Golden Guardians.
Great job by FlyQuest at the end, recognizing their window, forcing on the Baron, forcing Golden Guardians to come to then, and immediately turning. Then some fancy footwork in that team fight too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That one got a little dicey.
We kind of saw, you said, always working around that Gnar bar, watching where Lourlo was in that Gnar bar. They said he doesn't have any right now in that last Baron fight, and they went on him. It was actually him and Matt. So you're like, they're tanky, but we can take them down right now. They don't have what they need to stay alive. What a choice.
A lot of damage floating around. Some crits coming through, and it got a little bit close. But congratulations to FlyQuest on securing their victory.
It's always interesting to see a game come down to kind of those long, drawn out, like who's going to be able to spread out who more. We had the split push first. I think Flame getting big in this game, or actually doing consistent in lane and then getting very big, that was huge for FlyQuest. Flame was very big. Definitely
true. The Gangplank there farmed up very well. Big damage coming later as well.
Well, props to Onda, making sure he was always ready to know where Contractz was. After getting his Raptor stolen a few times, he's like, I'm going to counter gank you, and I'm going to be all up in your business. We're going to see now more from FlyQuest's win. Let's send it over to the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Riv. A scrappy game between these two teams at the bottom of the standings. Ultimately, FlyQuest comes out on top, breaking a 5-game losing streak here near the end of the split. But both of these teams locked out of playoff contention already. At the top of the day, we were talking about, prospective moves they might make or where they should look to strengthen themselves coming into summer split. So I kind of want to take a critical eye to some degree to this game and start analyzing where these teams can look to, to start buffing up.
Right, and Onda's one of the key examples here. This was a really strange invade given that Contractz had hit a vision plant, letting them know that he was going for this invade. He doesn't have mid priority, he gets caught out and dies for it. And it gets into this very scrappy game. Contractz kept jumping in and getting himself caught out of position. They kept going for skirmishes instead of, with that advantage that they built, just setting up this 1-3-1 with the Gnar, Corki, Caitlyn, and taking turrets. The skirmishes did not go in their favor.
I think both junglers definitely struggled a fair bit, and when Hai was setting up the split push, Golden Guardians didn't necessarily have the tools to 4-4 or 4-3 properly. Their disengage wasn't as strong as it needed to be, and then in these moments, like, FlyQuest was capitalizing, so getting the Taric ultimate, getting a bunch of kills after Baron, pulling the advantages back. They were making it difficult on Golden Guardians to actually set up team fights once they had equalized the goal.
Yeah, the Contractz just has no one to go in with him in this team comp, so it's a little bit strange of a pick as the Kha'Zix. You get some really scrappy fights. Like this one ends up winning it, but it's so close, barely stays alive. I think he lived with 9 HP.
9 HP is what yeah.
More than 0.
Well, if you're living, then
it is a non-zero number.
Fly also got his signature Galio pick, which is a little surprising. Built at full tank and was a key reason why those skirmishes were going in their favor. So it's a little hard to be critical of him because we were saying, well, he's really great on roamers like Galio, and then he got the thing he was great on, so he had a good game.
That's the big thing. You could be a team player this game. He actually did full tank Galio because they had the Gangplank, who was able to scale up to the late game because Lourlo didn't really punish that Gnar versus GP matchup much. So without a GP top lane, the Galio can't build full tank like that, but it did allow Fly to play to his strengths, which he has not been able to do whenever he's been picking the carries like Ryze.
Right, Onda and Fly, those were two of our concerns here. I mean, would you say any of them were necessarily assuaged? We still saw blunders, from Onda in that early game that did hand over some advantages. Same thing coming from Contractz, though, so.
I'd say Onda didn't tilt this game.
Yep.
Even though he was level 3 really late into the game with the Kha'Zix trying to go into his jungle, he did stabilize to an extent, but like this is another one of those games where I thought the compositions were weird. With the first pick Galio, and then I think Golden Guardians did kind of what they needed to do actually, picking 3 ranged laners so no one has to overcommit into the Galio, but then you still have a Kha'Zix on top of that. You actually need a tank in there to actually work against the Galio. And then FlyQuest didn't pick anything that innately synergizes with Galio, so it was weird.
Yeah, the Galio can cover the GP's early game, but then once you get out of early game, there's no one going in first really for FlyQuest, maybe the Sejuani, but it was just weird. And this is one of those games, like, the predictions, so, like, you saw the game.
Let's talk about this. Jab does move one game ahead in the predictions game here as a result of this, and you guys have predicted the same for the rest of the day, so that's the way it will conclude, right or wrong for the rest of them. But it's odd, in a sense, that we're looking at these games at the bottom of the standings are the ones that, in a sense, are determining where
he's got
the
90% with Optic, 80-something now with FlyQuest.
80+% with FlyQuest. The teams at the bottom of the standings, I know which other teams they can beat and not beat, but really, this was like
so many jokes
it
I could make about
Jat
being garbage and therefore familiar with garbage and that, and we're just gonna let it all go.
It's fine. But I do agree with you that it's strange how prediction games are all-encompassing. Like, you're gonna remember if you missed TSM versus C9, which is next, but you're not gonna remember that these games, but predicting them is the same value.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's still worth the point one way or the other, and in a lot of cases it makes it harder, right?
One game lead.
All right, well, let's send it back to Avali for an interview with FlyQuest Colossus in the mid lane.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Fly. Congratulations on that victory. This is the first time that I've gotten to speak to you this split since you came in maybe halfway through. What was it like at the beginning of the split watching your team play without you?
이제 첫 번째로 인터뷰하는데요. 스플릿 시작할 때 킨 선수가 경기했잖아요, midlane으로. 그때 플라이 선수 없이 경기를 볼 때 기분이 어땠어요?
아무 생각 없었어요. 그냥 비자 때문에 게임 못해서 어쩔 수 없이 못한 거라 그냥 경기가 뛰고 싶었어요. 네.
So I didn't really think about it because I had visa problems. There was nothing I could really do to remedy the situation. It felt bad seeing them play, but yeah, there's nothing I could do.
What was your integration with the team like? It looks like you have a fun team of players.
팀하고 스플릿 시작할 때 어떻게 어울리고 호흡이 잘 맞았어요?
그냥 스크림 할 때 라인전에서 다 이겨가지고 그냥 라인전 위주로만 했었던 것 같아요. 네, 그래서 그게 좀 안 좋았던 것 같아요.
So I think it was, at first, it was kind of hard for me. Our synergy wasn't great, but I always won lane in scrims, and I really focused on that.
And speaking of focus, what would you think is the focus for FlyQuest for the rest of this split?
이제 스플릿 끝나가는데요. 팀 목표가 뭔지 좀 말해주세요.
썸머 때 진짜 열심히 해서 롤드컵을 가고 싶어요.
So when summer comes along, I really want to work hard and make it to Worlds.
Perfect. Well, Fly, thank you so much for this interview. You did great during it. It was your first one. You did perfect. Joanne, thank you so much for translating. Round of applause for you. And for everyone else, stick around because after the break, we're going to see Clutch Gaming take on Team Liquid.